Rabbi say, welcome back to Yerushalmi Maaser Sheni. We are Perek Sheni Halacha Daled, and we're talking about taking coins, small coins of Maaser Sheni, onto a bigger coin in order to lighten the load for the person who's taking it to Yerushalmi. So Haperet Sela Bima'is Maaser Sheni. So you are swapping silver from copper of Maaser Sheni. So you've got a lot of prutas of Maaser Sheni. You want to put it on one silver seller. You're allowed to exchange all the copper onto your seller coin. Beis Hillel say don't do all the copper, only half. But shekel, which is half a seller, you're allowed to put onto kesef, right? Only half. But whatever's remaining, the shekel, mois, leave the remaining half as copper and bring it to Yerushalmi. Okay? Basically, what's going to happen is when you're going to go to Yerushalmi, you're going to have to start getting change again in order to buy all the food, right? If everyone's going to just have all the silver and they all start coming to Yerushalmi for the small coins, right? Then there'll be a big request for the copper coins, and the money changers will raise their prices, right? And you'll be able to get the Kesef Maaser Sheni less from its true value. Basically, the expenses will be higher. They'll start making a killing out of all the exchange fees. So we don't want you to suddenly have a big requirement for copper coins when everyone gets to Yerushalmi. That's why we say don't exchange all your silver into copper, but do part of it and leave part of it in copper, right? And that's why Beis Hillel said, leave half of the value in copper so you can buy food with it and so on. And later on you deal with the other half when you get to it. Okay? Rameir said, Ein machalin kesef or peras al kesef. Now also, don't start putting your silver of Maaser Sheni and fruit together al kesef on a silver coin. So don't put silver and let's say fruit onto one silver. So let's say you've got half a dinar of silver and fruit worth half a dinar. You can't put them all on one dinar because you can't put silver onto silver. But Chachamim allow it. They say, look, all you want to do is redeem the fruit. You're only adding the money because you haven't got enough to get the full dinar value, right? And therefore it's considered like secondary to the fruit. You want to exchange the fruit. So that's why. If you want to swap a seller of Maaser Sheni into prutas in Yerushalmi, you can redeem a whole value of the seller onto prutas. Beis Hillel said, b'shekel kesef, half of it you can put onto silver, with a shekel mois, and half of it you put onto the copper, onto the money. Right? In other words, again, only half the value of the seller. Even in Yerushalmi, you can only put half the value of the seller. Now, why the full amount? Again, we're worried. You might not stay in Yerushalmi enough time to use all your prutas, right? And if that's the case, you'll have to deposit them with someone else until you come back in 6 months' time. And it could be by then the prutas will have rust, and therefore by you changing the coins, you're going to cause a loss to Maaser Sheni. Now, you could take the remaining prutas back into silver, but we don't like that. Because that means more extra effort to the money changer, and again, there'll be additional expense as well, right? Money changing fees. So Beis Hillel said, change half the seller into prutas, and the second half keep in silver, so that if you don't use it this time, you will use it next time. Okay? On the other hand, Beis Shammai are not worried, and they allow you to change the whole seller into copper. Okay? Right. Hadonim lifnei chachamim. That phrase, those who are judging before the chachamim, who are they? Who are this? They said, we'll see who they are later. Bishloisha dinrin kesef v'dinar mois. So they said, you can change it to prutas a quarter of the value of a seller. So one seller is 4 dinrin. So you can change a copper the bits for 1 quarter. Okay, 1/4 of the amount. Rabbi Akiva said, Bishloisha dinrin kesef, you can change it for 3 dinrin of silver, and the remaining one, reverse, a quarter of it, you can buy copper. And the other 3/4 you keep silver. So out of the silver, basically 3 3/4 stays as silver, and therefore 1/16 Is that right? 1/16, a quarter of a quarter. So it's 3 and 15/16 can stay silver, and 1/16 can end up being copper. Rav Tafan said, the fourth one, even for the fourth dinar, Abba Aspre Kesef. You take silver 4 asprim. Now asprim are 4/5 of a dinar. And 1 aspa, which is 1/5 of a dinar, you can take copper. So basically you can only change it to copper 1/20th of a seller. Okay, that's what his opinion is. So you got all these different opinions. How much? Is it 1/16th? Is it 1/20th? Right? Is it half? Is it 3/4 against a quarter? Shammai said, you cannot put anything from a seller. This is more machmir. Take that seller, don't put it onto copper. Leave it in the shop and eat against it. And the seller over time will be reduced by every time the value of the food is bought. You want to put a seller Maaser Sheni, let's say, on a jug of wine. And some of your children are tahor, some are tameh. And you want them all to drink from the barrel or the jug. You put the seller Maaser Sheni down. He said, look, what the tahor ones are going to drink? The seller goes on the food, the drink that the tahor ones will drink. And you get tahor people and tameh drinking from the same jug, and the rest of the wine is not holy, and you're allowed, the tameh people are allowed to drink it. So only the wine which the tahor children drink has kedushas maaser. Okay, we learned in the second din of the Mishnah, the Rav Meir forbids you to redeem the coins of kesef in small on a silver. Basically, you can't put silver onto silver. The Chachamim allowed it. They said it's secondary to fruit. Rav Shimon Lakish, he says, what are they arguing about? You don't have the full value of silver, so the parents can't make up the whole value. If there is enough fruit to get a silver piece worth, the Chachamim also agree don't include it with other silver. Because since you got enough fruit to make a dinner, that's important in its own right. So we call the redemption of the fruit, like a separate thing. It's not a chilul together with the money of silver, and therefore you have to look at the coins as a separate thing, which is not secondary to the chilul peiros, and therefore you got the issue. You just cannot exchange silver onto silver. Now, when you've got chazi dinar kesef, half a dinar of silver of Maaser Sheni, but chazi dinar peiros and half a dinar of fruit, mutter, you're allowed to put them together onto dinar. But if you've got a dinar of coins of kesef, and dinar peiros and dinar of fruit, also you can't include it onto a shekel kesef. Koshkein, and definitely if you've got a value of shtei dinari kesef, 2, which is like half a seller, 2 dinrin of Maaser Sheni, shtei dinari prutas, 2 dinrin of prutas of peiros of fruit. Also you can't put them all together onto 1 seller of silver. Because here, the fruit and the coins are significant, each one in its own right, and putting them on the seller is like they're 2 separate things. So you're putting the money onto it, and you're putting the fruit onto it, and you can't put silver onto silver. Okay? So because it's a significant amount, we can't say, they're just joined together, the fruit. No, they're not secondary to the fruit. Okay? Hadonim b'nei chachamim, who is that phrase? Eino and Hadonim is Ben Azai and Ben Zoma. Eino and Talmidim, who are the Talmidim? Chanani ben Chachinai and Rav ben Messiah. Eino Kedosha, this is Rabbi Yosef ben Shulam and Rav Shimon ben Manasseh. Right, we find this expression, Eino Kedosha. In Bavli, the Holy Congregation, Bavli you often find Kahala Kadisha Yerushalmi, the important community in Yerushalmi. Some say that is the Eino Kedosha we're referring to here. Some say there were different groups. Okay. Eida Kadosha of Yosef Shulam and Shimon ben Manasseh. Shammai said you can't put a sell onto prutas. Leave it in the shop, and there will be payment. You'll take food from it, and it will run down the value. My time, but what's the reason of Shammai? You can't put a sell onto prutas. That's in Yerushalmi, yeah. Because we're worried if you're going to start holding prutas of Maaser Sheni Shema Yishkach, you'll forget that they're holy, but Yasa is a chulin. You use it for chulin things. Therefore, Shammai require you to leave the seller with the shopkeeper in his shop. So you won't end up using it for non-kodesh things. Okay? That's the reason. Okay. Misha, how you mix hasbana to me? If your children, some were tamei, some were tahor, so you take the coins will go on the tahor, the wine that the tahor kids will drink. If you said the condition before they drink, then mashke me'urafu, the wine in the jug is mixed of chulin with Maaser Sheni, and if the Tamei people drink it, they're going to drink Maaser Sheni wine. If it's saying to our case when they're going to drink, right? Where he said the condition after the children of Tar, they finish drinking, and he's saying the chilul will be on the wine they've already drunk. Then what they drank beforehand was chulin, because you come in with chalal on wine which they've already drank. It's not here. And he says mikavah lekashiyishtu. He makes a condition before they drink that the kohen be mechalal on that wine, which it works out in the end that that's the wine that they drank, that the tahor wine that they drank. You get me? Again, it's a mafreya with a tanai. Wherever it works out that what they drank, that will be the wine. So it's before they drank, but it will work. The condition is before they drank. The coin will work on that wine where it works out in the end that was the wine they drank. Now the tamei ones and the tahor ones can drink from the same jug. Sounds like the tamei ones can pour it. But tamei and tamei mace. Talking about where the children are tamei mace, therefore the tamei ones are not mitamei the jug by touching it. It was made of earthenware. And she'en klicheres mitamei, klicheres doesn't become tamei by tamei mace ba'achora from the outside. And between tumaziva, if they are tumaziva, then when the tamei ones pour from the jug, they're going to be mitamei it and the wine inside it. Because the din is shazav mitamei v'hesed. A zav is mitamei by moving the item. Sometimes in Yerushalmi actually, hesed doesn't always mean moving. It's other things as well, but whatever. They're over up. So then the din was not said, right? That they can all drink from the same jug. The difference between tamei and tumas mace and tamei and tumas ziva, that's kishayin echad ma'ara. When one of the tahor ones is not pouring, each one is pouring for himself. And yesh echad ma'ara, if only one of the tahor people is doing all the drinking, then even if they're all tamei, if it's tamei and tumas ziva, the din will apply. They can all drink if a tahor one is doing all the pouring, and then even the other ones can drink. Right? The tamei ones are not going to move the jug. Hadron alach Maaser Sheni Daf. Okay. This is Perik Shlishi. Yeah. Don't tell your friend halas haperos. Take this fruit of Maaser Sheni to Yerushalmi lechalek to give out, and you'll get a share. Lechalek, like you should have a share in it. Sounds like you bothered to take it there, and you'll get a reward by schlepping. You get a share, and you can't pay a debt back with Maaser Sheni. And you say halem, take it there. Like we've learned, we can eat them and drink them in Yerushalayim. This lashon is mashma. You're like inviting him to eat and drink with you. You're not paying him a reward. That's permitted. You can give Maaser Sheni as fruit, as gifts, one to the other. Don't say, oh, you take the fruits of Yerushalayim to give out. You say, no, you take them and we'll drink together. What's the difference when we say we will eat, we will drink? Where he says to give out. Why is that forbidden? We will drink. I'm not giving you a free gift. I'm giving you the fruits as a reward for you bothering to take it. It's one of the halachas that were imum. Imum means they were hesitant. They didn't definitely forbid it. They were lenient in certain cases. Now this week we're going to have various cases of hesitancy. You find it elsewhere in Shabbos, elsewhere in Shas. You tell a worker, take this coin, and cut for me vegetables today. You're allowed to do, there's no kedusha shvius here. The coin that was given is for your work, it's not for the vegetables, so there's no problem with shvita. If you say, lakat li boy, you gather for me, cut for me, with this coin that I'm paying you, yarakayim, a vegetable today, then it's forbidden. Because there's kedusha shvius here, and you can't do all your things with it. You have to use it like all the laws of dinei shvius. Okay. Lakach bin anachtan kikar b'pudyan. Someone took from the baker a kikar worth of pudyan, which is 2 isurim, and he say, look, when I cut the vegetables in the field, I'll bring you from them. Mutter, you're allowed to bring to the baker these vegetables which have kedusha shvius. Doesn't look like you're paying back your debt. But if you say, Lakach mimenu estam, if, however, you took the bread without saying anything, right, on credit. Lo yeshanu alav b'dvei shvius. Don't use shvius money to pay him back. She'ein po'el chayv b'dvei shvius. You can't pay a debt back with shvita money. Now we said, if you tell a worker, here's an issa, gather vegetables, that's okay. If you say, gather me vegetables with it, then it's forbidden. What's the difference between say, lak it li, gather for me, where there's no problem with shvius, and lak it li boy. What's the difference when you say, gather for me with it, where there is kiddush shvius? Now in both cases, you'll only gather vegetables the value of an issa. So even in the first case, we should treat the issa as if it's given for the fruits, there should be kiddush shvius on it. He says, again, they were very hesitant. They didn't forbid it openly. There were lenience in certain cases. We've learnt elsewhere. You can borrow from your friend on Shabbos jugs of wine and jugs of oil. You can't say lend me. Now we have in English we only have one phrase, lend me. Right? In Hebrew you have hashileni and alveni, right? So what's what are we saying now?
We have some Shabbos.
Yeah, so you're not allowed to say halveni. So you can only say hashileni. Now, what's the difference between the two? We understand. Again, they said they were a bit hesitant here. Now, obviously, there is a difference. Halveni is usually money, and money you get back. Well, halveni is an item that you get back. No, one second. No. Hashileni is what's it? Which way around is it? Hashileni is usually the same item as given back. Halveni is a loan, a monetary loan, where it's not exactly the same money you're going to give back. Piton, bread of Ovdei Kechavim, which we learn is also. Again, this is also, they were a bit hesitant about it. I ask you, what do you mean they were hesitant? If Kach and Yom Mokish Masechet and say, are you telling me, look, when you get Jewish bread, but dinner should have Pascal Kosher bread should be forbidden. There's no reason they'll marry now. It should be forbidden. The Imam will allow it to, right? The Chachamim allowed it. So there were no heter in Pasakum, even where you could get Jewish bread. And although there's no yesod to this, the Chachamim were quiet, and therefore kosher bread was allowed everywhere. Or maybe I say Mokum Shein Pasitol Matsuya, when there's no Jewish bread, but dinner Shein Pasitol Teres, then non-Jewish bread should be permitted. Bread is the main staple. But even so, if we allowed, they weren't sure about the heter, but they forbade it. So which way around is it? Yes, imum le'isur. You find that expression, imum, they're hesitant. Right? Usually, the word imum is to be lenient. They allowed it. We don't find cases of chumrah where it's with this phrase. So Ramana actually brings another proof. It can't mean imum here is le'isur. He says, Pas shlokit shoshalei goyim he. Bread of goyim is like cooked food of goyim. And they're the same gezerah. So if it's with bread, it's le'isur, because they weren't sure, then bishul akum should also be forbidden, because of imum as well. Bishul akum should have the same severities. Yet we don't find this. Because kachani ever do we say with non-Jewish cooking, if you can't get a Jewish cook, then non-Jewish non-Jewish cooked food should be permitted. But even if allowed, then they weren't sure about it also when they forbade it. I mean, it can't be that. The guy who's cooking is also in every place to be zera. It's not because of the imum, right? So the issur with kosher bread is me'ikag zera. It's not because of the imum they were a bit hesitant. And Akainu, this is Pshat. Even Mokim Shein Pastor Matsuya, where you can't get Jewish bread, but Dinu Shein Pastor Masura, non-Jewish bread should also be forbidden. But even allowed, but they weren't sure they allowed it, but they chai nefesh because bread was so important. So as far as Bishul go, they weren't meikul, right? So what comes out, the Rabbi Yaakov Baracha is telling us, well, if you can't get Jewish bread, Imamu v'Yitzira, they allowed you to have other bread. But the is there only where Pas Yisrael is matzah, you can get Jewish bread. Now we bring a proof that imum can mean a heter, but we're limiting the heter. Rabbanu the Kissim Shem Yaakov Baracha, Yidibah Mishu Matir, the one who allows kosher bread where you can't get Jewish bread, it's got to be from a baker, right? Bread of not bread of a balabayis, but bread of a baker who's got a bit more experience. But lo did okay. Now what does this mean? Typical Yerushalmi phrase here. But lo did okay. So it could mean other people don't follow that. So basically, where you can't get past Israel, they would get past Akum. That's one way of learning. Love the Kain. We don't expect you to start being on top of it. No, if you can't get it, you can just get non-Jewish bread. So we learn. Excuse me. Some learn.
Again, that was bad. They don't talk past Akum, not past Palta. Because then there was small bakeries, there was private people.
Past Akum, yeah.
Past Akum, not past Palta. It wasn't like a factory.
No, true. Now, some learn, Love Dinon Kain is Rabbanan and Kisrin. Basically, although they paskin that Jewish bread, if it's not available, you're allowed to eat past Palta, but they themselves did not rely on this, and they avoided eating. Agamor is telling us the bread of a balabais is no heta. It's forbidden for everyone. Even in a place where Pas Yisrael is not Monsui. Right? Remember, it's only a baker we allow, not balabais' bread. Now the Gemara says Le'av Dinon Kain. Could be they learn like a different shot in the Mishnah. The Rif and the Rosh bring out Gemara. Doesn't actually explain the reasons. The Torah says there's no difference between heta and pas palta and het and pas of balabais. We completely compare it. Alright. Where we? Tani? We've learnt. Don't tell your friend Yerushalmi. Ha'al chaviz zu shel yain b'mokem lemokem lechalek. You take this barrel of wine at Maaser Sheni from place to place lechalek to give out, and you'll get a share in it. Even though it's not such a big tirucha, but the idea of you'll get a share for your bother. You cannot pay back a debt with fruit of Maaser Sheni. Yeah. Amar Blaza, Rabbi Yehuda from Nechemiah. This they learned this price in this way. He says you take from the baker a kikar worth of opinion, and he say, look, when I gather the vegetable fruits, I will bring it back to you. Yehuda and Nechemiah forbade it. They say it's like you're paying back a debt. You can't do that. Chachamim allow it. So just like Yehuda and Nechemiah, machmir as far as shvius, and they treat the situation like paying back a debt. So this price also is machmir with Perush Sheni, and it treats it as paying back a debt. So what are we talking about here? Where you're telling me Machlokes Yehuda and Nechemiah and the Chachamim. In the case where the baker said to the person, Halach zav, halach, here's the bread. V'havli, give me instead gold. Or give me vegetables. In this case, the lekeach is paras chayiv with the vegetables. And the Kol also should be forbidden to everyone. If it's a case where Havli, you give me a loaf of bread, but I know you have lach, and I will give you vegetables. Pashat Divrei Kol Mutter, then where holes is permitted, right? Because the lekach was not mechayiv to pay definitely. He just said, "Oh, if I find vegetables, I'll bring you." Fine. So they're giving it willingly. Kiyanan, what are you talking about? The buyer tells the baker, "Havli, give me borili anayu avlach. Give me a loaf of bread. I'm sure I'll have field vegetables to give you." But they forbade it. Because you don't find vegetables during Shemitah. So what they are important. You can't get hold of these vegetables. Oh, excuse me, I got back late from abroad last night. Okay, so what we're saying now, let's go back a bit. So you tell the baker, look, give me, and of course I'm sure I'll give you some vegetables I find. They forbade it because we don't find vegetables during Shemitah. And giving to the baker for the kikar is like a payback of a debt. You can't pay back a debt for Shemitah. They said, no, you can always get vegetables in Shvius. They're like giving to each other free gifts, whatever it is. So the Svara, the Machlokes Yehuda and Nechemiah, the Chachamim, doesn't belong to the din of Bryce about Maaser Sheni, which forbids even in Yerushalmi to say basically take the barrel from place to place, and not based on what Rabbi Lezer said. Now we said you're not allowed to tell your friend you take the fruits of Yerushalmi to give out. There's Lashon's mashma, you're giving him a share for his bother. You can't pay back a debt with Peres of Maaser Sheni. But you're allowed to say, you take them, we'll eat them together in Yerushalmi. It's much you're inviting him, right, to eat with you, to drink with you. You're not paying back a debt. And the Gemara asks about the following question. So what about if you say, look, you take it up to Yerushalmi, we'll eat it there, B'shehela Oison, and maybe after he's put it up there, can you say, Tal Chalkach, you take your share, and he has Chalkin, I'll take my share. Now, can you do that? Maybe it's like paying back a reward. In the beginning, we use the Lashon HaAzmona, inviting to eat with him. After you put the payros, you use the Lashon of paying a reward. Can you tell him, you know what? You take this barrel of wine of Maaser Sheni to Yerushalmi, and we will drink together from an olive one, which I've got there. So here, we'll eat together from the vegetable, from the olive one, whatever. Is that okay? The Gemara doesn't answer the question. Now, what about Maaser Behema? Okay, we've learned Maaser Behema has got a din like Maaser Sheni. Asa Mechira, you can't sell it, right? You can't do business with it. Now, is it got a din like Maaser Sheni as far as the other din? If after Maaser Behema came, are you going to tell me with Maaser Behema the same colour which you said with Maaser Sheni? So are you allowed to tell your friend, take this animal, Maaser Sheni to Yerushalmi, so we can eat from it there, like it's permitted with Maaser Sheni? Or maybe Maaser Behema is more chamor, or maybe even that Lashon is forbidden. The Gemara answers, Maaser Sheni Adesha Mechirasa Miyuchedes. The sale is forbidden. You're to sell it at the back of a lorry, right? But you're allowed to give a gift. Therefore, Atama Muta, therefore you say it's permitted to take it, we'll eat it together, we'll drink it in Yerushalmi. But Maaser Behema She'ein Mechirasa Miyuchedes. It's not so unique, right? Maaser Behema. The selling is forbidden, but giving as a gift is also forbidden. Therefore, Arei Atama, you want to say also that it's forbidden to say this lashon. Why should that be? The din is that Maaser Behema is mutter for giving a gift, just like Maaser Sheni is mutter giving a gift. And there's no svara to say that we should be machmir Maaser Behema more than Maaser Sheni. But that's cheated after in mutter. It's not clear to you that even Maaser Behema you're allowed to say take the animal to Yerushalmi, we can eat from it. Right? We don't even know if we can say that or not. Now the Gemara brought its din that you're allowed to say, you take it, we'll eat it in Yerushalmi, and that applies to Maaser Behema as well. So then there's another question. In some ways Maaser Sheni and Maaser Behema are similar. Are you allowed to tell your friends, you take this wine to Yerushalmi, and we will eat from the oil that I have? You hear that? You take the wine, we'll eat from the oil. So you're not inviting him for the same thing. You're inviting him for something else. Okay? Ma'ashi Ovala, can you tell your friend, how Behema, you take this animal, this cow, living cow, right? Zu of Maaser, and we will eat from slaughtered meats which I have there. Okay? So various animals, okay. Is again something with Maaser Sheni, You have one type of food as if you're inviting him to eat with you and drink with you. Okay. Halacha base, yeah? Ein leichin truma mikesef maaser. You can't buy truma with money which you redeemed Maaser Sheni. You're reducing the people eating it all the time because Maaser Sheni, because truma is only permitted to Kohanim. Maaser Sheni is permitted to the others. Shimon Matir. Shimon Matir, he allows you to buy truma with this kesef of Maaser Sheni. He's not worried about reducing the number of people eating. And Rav Shimon brings a raya. You don't have to worry about any limitations here on Maaser Sheni. Rav Shimon, if they allow you to buy an animal for a shlamim with Maaser Sheni, even though you're reducing the numbers of eating Eichel Maaser, but who may be on, because you're bringing the animals you brought for shlamim, to a chashash, there'll be problem with pigel, or nice of a tameh. Like Nakal should not be lenient with truma to buy it with kesef Maaser Sheni, and truma there's no din pigel, nice of a tameh. It makes more sense to redeem everything onto truma. They said back to Rav Shimon, you cannot know the fact that we allowed you to buy animals for shlamim with kesef Maaser Sheni for buying truma, because ma'im hekel b'zivchei shlamim. If we were lenient buying animals with shlamim, you have Maaser Sheni money, you're buying shlamim with it, right? That's what the Torah says. Shekei mutai lezarim. But yeah, because anyone can eat shlamim. Whereas, okay, with truma, you want to buy truma with it, right? Not so many people can eat truma. You follow that? We're saying, look, he says if you can use it for kabbalas, I'm going to use it for truma. They said, no. Kabbalas, fair enough, the Torah tells you, but why should we allow you to buy truma with it? Less people are eating truma. Shlamim, many more people eat. So we said, the reason why you can't buy truma with Kesef Maaser Sheni, because you're being memayit the eating. So, Tony learns in the Brayso, don't buy truma with Maaser Sheni. Shlayava alidei psul. We don't need to come to psul. What does that mean? Alidei psul. Rav Yoda. Now, what could it mean? It could mean there's less people to eat it, right? Rav Yoda should nifsav a tvul yom. If a tvul yom touches it, it becomes pasul because it's truma. Tvul yom pasul's truma. So here, in this situation, the Maaser Sheni will get lost. You can't eat it because truma, which a tvul yom is touched. Who told me it's about Torah? It's told me on a Torah. Truma tzemeh can't be eaten. Live daisai to redeem it, you can't. Shul tahar it's about Torah, but on Torah is tahar. Right? Maaser Sheni, the machal is considered tahar. You can't redeem it. The heter to redeem machal, which was acquired with Maaser Sheni, which was tameh, is only if it's tameh, a tumah, which passes Maaser Sheni. Not if it's a tumah because it's also truma. However, so it comes out, the words of the Brayso, that the reason why you can't buy truma with Kesef Maaser Sheni is like yava lidei psul. We don't want a tvul yom to touch it. That is the danger. Now, what is the reason why Mishnah says? Mishnah says you're reducing the eating. How can buying truma with Maaser Sheni money reduce the eating? Truma asura lezarim, where truma non-Yisrael can't eat, and Maaser Sheni mutar lezarim. Okay, Maaser Sheni can be eaten, and truma asura b'tvul yom. Truma is forbidden from tvul yom, whereas Maaser Sheni mutar with tvul yom. So buying truma with Kesef Maaser Sheni, you're limiting the eating of maaser only to kohanim and to people who are not tvul yom. Okay, now. Buying truma with Kesef Maaser Sheni reduces the eating of the maaser, but the truth is, you also reduce the eating of the truma. So kashem shu b'mayit b'achilasa, you're reducing the eating of maaser by buying truma with it. But kachamad b'achilasa, you're also reducing the eating of truma. Because truma was teres la'ayin, the truma between the patira and the vaya. Yet truma is permitted to an ayin, but Maaser Sheni is not. Maaser Sheni also la'ayin. Truma ena torah mechitza. It can be eaten anywhere. It doesn't have to be in Yerushalmi. Maaser Sheni torah mechitza. Maaser Sheni has to be in Yerushalmi. By buying truma, you're increasing onto the truma the limitations you have of Maaser Sheni. So this acquisition reduces the opportunity of eating of truma. So why does the Mishnah say the eating side that you're reducing? There's more problems. That what? Truma doesn't need a mechitza. Actually, so there's other studim here. Truma is permitted for Eidin, and Maaser Sheni is also. So the Mishnah just refers to less people eating it. But why only that? We got the other side as well. Ashkach Tony, we found a Brayso. You can't buy truma because of Maaser Sheni, but truma b'mayit b'achilasa. You're not only reducing the eating of maaser that less people can eat it, because now truma of achilasa. So basically, less people eating it, achilasa shamasa, and the eating of the truma. So we only really both reasons apply, but we're only mentioning one of them. So he says here, there is a loss to truma and to maaser, but even though there was a loss for one of them, it would be forbidden to do it. So what we got here, less people are going to eat it now, and the eating of the truma. Okay. So anyway, let's advise. So you cannot buy shvius produce with Maaser Sheni, because you can't eat shvius after the zman biur, so the Maaser Sheni will get lost. Argue the Chachamim of Shimon. The Brayso holds like the Chachamim. You cannot buy truma Maaser Sheni because we're worried that have less people eating it. But Shimon argues he allows you to buy truma. He's not worried about less people eating it. He allows you to buy shvius as well. So Rav Yossi's version is that Rav Shimon allows shvius. So that we didn't mention it here, but that Rav Shimon actually allows it. Rav Yoda said no, Divrei Koli. Everyone holds it's a problem. Even Rav Shimon holds it's a problem. Rav Shimon only allowed you to buy truma from Maaser Sheni because he held earthly truma's rizinheim. Those wonderful kohanim. I think we should stress on that. Those wonderful kohanim. At the time when they ate truma, zerizinheim, they were so careful, so punctilious. Is that the word? Yeah, punctilious. In their guarding and the observance, there's no problem that's going to come about. So he held, although by acquiring truma with Maaser Sheni you're reducing the eating of Maaser, it's not a worry there'll be a hefsed. Whereas Shvius, we don't say those who eat Shvius are Zoris. We don't say that. He agrees to the other Brisa, you cannot buy Peres Shvius with Kesef, Maaser Sheni, because although it will be also to eat Maaser after the Zman Bil, you can come to a hefsed. So Yerushalmi here refers to the people who eat Truma as Rizim. Right, in Bavli you have other references that Kaidim generally as Rizim. Let's say that again. Kaidim generally as Rizim, right? And all they do. Some say it's only Kahuna aspects. Some say it's not necessarily. But the Yerushalmi's version here, this Yerushalmi, is the Eichel Truma, the Zaris in Truma aspects. Okay. Hasib Rav Chananya Kuba. I think I will stop here actually because I want to talk about this bit tomorrow. We'll talk about this. Okay.